A $100 adjustable wrench and a $25 adjustable wrench just came off the exact same production line in Spain. We have the stamp to prove it. The plumbing tool market is not a meritocracy. It is a branding exercise. And today, we are pulling back the curtain on 5 tools that are quietly draining your wallet, and 3 that are genuinely worth every cent. Let's start with the most brazen markup in the entire trades industry. Trap number 1. The tool truck, wide mouth. Adjustable wrench, picture this. It is 7 in the morning. The Snap-on truck rolls up to the shop. The guy opens the back and there it is, the ADHW 8A. 8 inches of chrome-finished, wide-mouth adjustable wrench with a cushion grip handle and a price tag of $95. Flip that wrench over. Look at the country of origin stamp. 3 letters. ESP, Spain. That wrench was not built in some secret Snap-on facility with proprietary metallurgy and aerospace-grade tolerances. It was built by a company called Irega in a town called Zaldibar in the Basque country of northern Spain. Irega is a dedicated adjustable wrench manufacturer. They run the same production lines for Baco, for Channellock, and yes, for Snap-on, through their European subsidiary SNA Europe. The structural steel is identical. The 15-degree head angle is identical. The elastomer grip geometry is identical. The only thing that changes when that wrench gets a red Snap-on logo pressed onto it is the price. The Baco 9031, same factory, same alloy, same tolerances, retails online for $24 to $28. You're paying $95 for a $25 wrench. That is a 300% markup for the privilege of buying off a truck on a weekly payment plan. The tool truck business model is not selling you quality. It is selling you convenience and credit, and charging you a premium for both. The cheat code here is simple. Find the Baco 9031. Buy it. Put it in your bag. Never think about it again. Trap number 2. Milwaukee close quarters. Copper tubing cutters. Tektronix Industries built Milwaukee Tool into the most dominant cordless ecosystem in the mechanical trades. The M12 and M18 platforms are genuinely exceptional, nobody is disputing that. But here's what happens when a power tool company decides to slap its brand on a hand tool without doing the engineering work. The Milwaukee Close Quarters series relies on a spring tension assembly that is lighter than the rigid equivalent, leading to a documented failure mode. The tool walks. Instead of tracking a clean, perpendicular cut around the pipe, the cutting wheel drifts. It spirals. And when a tubing cutter spirals on copper, you do not get a clean joint. You get a ruined pipe end, a wasted fitting, and a callback you cannot bill for. The root cause is mechanical. The internal tension springs do not generate consistent enough force to hold the cutting wheel in alignment under load. The snap rings and soft steel pins that are supposed to lock the wheel in place are undersized. They flex. They allow the wheel to tilt by fractions of a millimeter. And on a rotating cut, fractions of a millimeter become a full spiral in 3 rotations. This is not a user error. This is a design tolerance problem that Milwaukee has not resolved. Meanwhile, Rigid's close quarters cutters use hardened steel pins with tighter dimensional tolerances. The wheel stays true. The cut stays square. The joint goes together clean the first time. The Milwaukee name on a hand tool does not carry the same engineering commitment as the Milwaukee name on a cordless drill. Know the difference before you buy. Trap number 3. Modern Stanley Black & Decker Craftsman Mechanics hand tools. This one is going to sting for a lot of people, because Craftsman is not just a brand. For an entire generation of tradespeople, Craftsman is a memory. It is the socket set your father kept in the garage. It is the ratchet that survived 30 years of abuse and still clicked clean. That Craftsman is gone. In 2017, Stanley Black & Decker acquired the Craftsman brand from Sears for $900 million. They announced a $90 million investment to reshore production to a brand new 425,000 square foot automated facility in Fort Worth, Texas. The press releases were glowing. The patriotic marketing was loud. Here's what actually happened. The automated cold forming systems were scaled up during the pandemic without sufficient integration testing. Wrenches came out of the presses misshapen. Sockets bypassed stamping stations entirely and arrived at heat treatment with unpunched metal and missing logos. The quality control systems could not keep pace with the automation speed. Stanley Black & Decker officially finalized the closure of the Fort Worth plant in 2024. 175 jobs gone. Craftsman Mechanics tool production returned to Tijuana, Mexico, and Asian contract suppliers. The lifetime warranty is still on the packaging. The American manufacturing story is not. When you pick up a modern Craftsman ratchet at a big box retailer, you're buying a product from a brand that attempted domestic reshoring, failed at the execution, and quietly walked it back while keeping the heritage marketing fully intact. You're paying for a story that is no longer true. If you want USA-made hand tools with genuine Snap-on DNA, look at Williams, Snap-on's industrial brand. Older designs, proven steel, built for people who actually use tools for a living. Trap number 4. High-capital cordless press toolkits for low-volume work. Let's talk about the press-fitting revolution. Because it is real, and for the right contractor, it is genuinely transformative. A cordless press tool eliminates open flame, eliminates flux, eliminates the firewatch, and cuts installation time dramatically on large commercial jobs. But here is the economic trap that nobody talks about at the point of sale. A professional-grade cordless press tool kit, Milwaukee M12 or M18 Force Logic, runs between $2,400 and $4,200 depending on the jaw set configuration. That is a serious capital commitment. And for a high-volume mechanical contractor running hundreds of presses a week, the math works. The labor savings justify the investment. For a residential service plumber doing occasional repairs, the math does not work. And here is why. The press fitting system locks you into proprietary consumables. A Viega Pro Press 1-inch 90-degree elbow costs $22. A traditional copper sweat elbow of the same size costs $6. That is a massive material cost penalty per connection. On a small residential repair with 4 or 5 fittings, you have already absorbed the cost advantage of the faster installation time in material markup alone. And when the homeowner gets the invoice and sees a $400 bill for 40 minutes of work, they are not thinking about your capital amortization. They are thinking you overcharged them. For low-volume service work, traditional sweat soldering remains the more profitable method per job. And if you genuinely need a no-flame option for occasional use, manual hydraulic press tools are available for $100 to $150. They are slower. They are not as elegant. But they make a code-compliant press joint, and they do not require you to finance a $4,000 toolkit to do it. Match the tool to the volume. Do not let the sales rep at the supply house make that decision for you. Trap number 5. The rigid EZ change faucet and sink installer. $30. Bright red plastic. Marketed as the modern replacement for the traditional basin wrench. The rigid EZ change faucet and sink installer looks like a solution to a real problem. And in a brand new construction bathroom with wide open cabinet access, it functions adequately. But plumbers do not spend their careers in brand new construction bathrooms with wide open cabinet access. They spend their careers lying on their backs under cast iron sinks in 40-year-old vanities with 3 inches of clearance between the drain body and the cabinet wall, trying to break loose a corroded mounting nut that has not moved since the Carter administration. In that environment, the EZ change fails on 2 counts. First, the plastic body is too thick. The square cross-section cannot rotate in tight spaces. You physically cannot complete a full turn of the tool without the body contacting the cabinet wall or the supply line. Second, if the supply line has any bend at all, and after 40 years they always have a bend, the hollow handle catches the line and twists it. You are now fighting the tool and the supply line simultaneously, and you are one bad move away from cracking a valve seat. The rigid model 1019 telescoping steel basin wrench costs $44, $14 more. It extends to reach deep into tight spaces. The jaw pivots to work in both directions. The steel shaft is narrow enough to rotate in spaces where the EZ change cannot even fit. Buy the right tool once. Stop buying the convenient tool twice. Now, 3 tools that are actually worth it. Number 1. The Knipex Pliers Wrench. Standard adjustable wrenches have jaw slop. The knurl scroll mechanism introduces play between the jaw faces, and on soft brass plumbing fittings and decorative chrome supply stops, that play rounds corners. It damages finishes. It turns a simple valve replacement into a fixture replacement. The Knipex Pliers wrench eliminates jaw slop through parallel jaw geometry and a 10-to-1 mechanical advantage ratio. When you grip the handles, the smooth, flat jaws clamp onto the fastener with force, amplified 10 times over your hand pressure. There is no movement. There is no rounding. The jaw locks and stays locked through the entire rotation. The ratcheting action lets you reset without breaking contact with the fitting. On a tight supply stop in a cramped vanity, that matters enormously. $45 to $65 depending on size. It replaces a full set of open-ended wrenches and eliminates the cost of replacing the decorative fixtures those wrenches would have destroyed. This is not an expensive tool. It is a cheap tool when you account for what it saves. Number 2, the Knipex Cobra water pump pliers. Standard tongue and groove pliers require constant squeeze pressure to keep the jaws on the workpiece. Over the course of a full day of service calls, that sustained grip load creates hand fatigue. Fatigued hands slip. Slipped pliers, skin knuckles, and round fittings. The Cobra uses self-locking jaw geometry. Once the induction-hardened alloy steel teeth are set on the pipe or hex body, the jaws lock. You push down on the top handle to rotate the workpiece. You do not squeeze. The mechanical design does the gripping for you. The push-button adjustment mechanism prevents the jaw setting from slipping mid-turn. The handle geometry is engineered to prevent pinching at any adjustment position. The German-forged steel teeth maintain their bite geometry through years of hard use. Standard carbon steel pliers wear down, lose their tooth profile, and start slipping on fittings they use to grip cleanly. The Cobra does not do that. $40 to $60, worth every cent of it. Number 3, classic USA-made, rigid heavy-duty pipe wrenches. Not the orange power tools, not the licensed TTI product line. The red-handled, ductile iron, heavy-duty straight pipe wrenches that have been the industry standard for gas fitting and heavy plumbing for decades. Here's how they are made. The ductile iron handles are poured and cast at the Uric Foundry in Erie, Pennsylvania. They are then shipped to Elyria, Ohio for precision machining, painting, assembly, and individual stress testing. The hook and heel jaws are forged from high alloy steel and hardened twice to achieve the grip strength and wear resistance that hard pipe demands. The float jaw design has self-cleaning threads. The adjustment nut spins freely when it is covered in pipe dope, rust, and mud, because in the field it always is. Backed by a lifetime warranty, built in America, designed to outlast the career of the person using them. In a market full of cheap cast iron lookalikes that crack under load and adjustment nuts that seize after 6 months, the classic rigid pipe wrench is the benchmark everything else is measured against. Buy it once. Hand it down. The tools filling your pack are either generating field profit or financing an executive bonus package. 5 tools charging you for a name. 3 tools charging you for what is actually inside them. The difference between a smart tool budget and an expensive one is not how much you spend. It is knowing which dollar goes toward engineering and which dollar goes toward a marketing campaign. Now, have you ever had a Milwaukee tubing cutter walk on you mid-cut? Or made the switch from channel locks to Knipex and never looked back? Drop it in the comments. We read every single one. And if this changed how you look at your tool bag, subscribe. We do this every week.